Hello, I'm Mark Govers, founder and inventor, OrangeSunLabs.com. Welcome to another remote viewing adventure. I'd like to point out that remote viewing is really nothing new. This is the modern term that the military gave it, but it's also called direct perception, soul travel, astral travel, looking into the quantum field, etc. But I like the remote viewing terminology because it's a nice structured framework that the military developed, and it gives it some credibility and a repeatable framework that if people practice it, they can begin to get results. And I think some structure is important with these ethereal technologies that are brand new, and they do need to be tied down a little bit. Just as it's good to, if you're doing a meditation practice, a lot of people like to do it the same time every day, and the body gets used to that rhythm, same time and place every day. Sometimes it's good for the mind to kind of be on automatic for certain aspects, and then other deeper parts of us can venture and go beyond that. So I'm in the forest today, and it's very appropriate because I would like to share something special that can be done with remote viewing. It's not only a way to gather information or to see distant locales and feel what's there. In my case, I'm an empath, so I mostly access through feeling, and the feeling gives me a lot of detail and helps me to paint a picture. So in that way, I see what's there. Sometimes I do get imagery, but it's primarily feeling for me. From my research and experience, everybody has abilities to perceive things beyond this world. They may not have a name for it. It may only happen once in a while, or maybe it happened to them when they were children. But this aspect can be nurtured and developed. So I'm happy to share this adventure with you all, not just for the pleasure of it, for the relaxing, stress-reducing aspects of it, but also to encourage those of you out there that want to get into something and they're not sure what to go for, and maybe they can see the pure fun of this and decide it's something they want to try. So an important aspect of remote viewing is to relax the body and mind so that you can go beyond. And a lot of people struggle with meditation, and part of it's because the mind gets so active. And a very simple way to begin to silence the mind is through what's called a mantra. It's simply a word. You can choose a holy word or a holy person or any word that you feel close to in your heart, like it makes you feel good when you think of it. Maybe the sunshine or the beach or some special place. It really doesn't matter. Or you can use Jesus or God or whatever you like. I like this ancient mantra called Hugh, and you sing it like kind of like a breath. So, or Hugh. Find it very calming. And so let's go ahead and begin here. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to travel inside of a tree. That might sound kind of strange, but let me give you the backstory. The Essenes lived around the Dead Sea a couple thousand years ago, and It turns out that Jesus actually visited the Essenes part of the time while he was alive, and he taught them things. These were actually written on the Dead Sea Scrolls that were later discovered by goat herders sometime in the 20th century. So I think around 50 years ago or something, and maybe longer. And a lot of people began to decipher these things, and they ended up in the Vatican and in the catacombs, which are like storage basements below the Vatican there. And a man named Edmund Zelsky, who was a French man, he wanted to go in there. He spoke several languages, and he was able to get a hold of these and translate them from their native Aramaic to English and many other languages. And these spread around the world by word of mouth, and millions of copies were sold. And you can still find these online today and in bookstores. If you just look for the Essene Gospel of Peace, if I remember right, there was books 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excuse me. And my favorite is book 1 and book 4, because this is where Jesus and other people are actually speaking. Books 2 and 3, if I remember correctly, were more like prayer and poetry and things like that. Very nice too. But if you want to hear the instructions and the information, books 1 and 4 are fantastic. So in either 1 or 4, I can't remember, Jesus addresses the people there, and they had done a good job with their spiritual practice, and he wanted to teach them a secret technique. So the technique was that just at dawn, which I'm not at dawn right now with my work schedule, but we can still do this. Just before dawn, to enter a favorite tree, and in your mind. So basically, you imagine entering this tree. It begins with imagination, and then if you focus correctly, it becomes remote viewing or soul travel, whichever term you like. And the interesting thing about soul travel and remote viewing is that when you're accessing these different regions in the quantum field, you begin to feel sensations in your physical body. So you can actually receive a healing this way, depending on what you're contacting. If it's an uplifting frequency, like let's say you're observing a rose, it could be in another country, you're looking at a rose, you can touch the petals of the rose, you can smell the rose, and you begin to feel the rose. And when this happens, the energies from the quantum realm actually go into the physical realm, and you begin to receive benefits. So that's what I'm going to do today. So thanks for putting up with my long preamble here, but I think it was important. Now, if you'd like to join me, just find yourself in a relaxing spot, sit back, and feel the weight of your body in your chair, and just let go of it. The spirit is free and not bound to the body, which we prove in remote viewing. And take a couple deep breaths. And just let all your tension fade away. And one last breath. And now I'm going to sing a mantra. Here we go. Feel free to join me. Might be a little easier to sing it if you lay back like I am now. Feel couple times as a whisper. Now do it once inside your mind, same way. All right. So now that we've begun to calm our mind and our body, let's venture into our imagination and go ahead and look for a beautiful tree that you've either seen or you've walked by, or maybe you've even touched it. A very handsome, beautiful, regal tree. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's a gnarly tree. Whatever you like to put your attention on right now, just go with that. I have a favorite tree, and I know what it feels like, and I'm touching its bark now, remote viewing it, as I'm already beginning to feel the tree. And then I speak to the tree, and I say, thank you for, working with me. And I've worked with this tree several times, and I always thank it as I leave. And now I'm going to imagine myself in the tree. So I'm inside the tree now, and I know from previous experience that there's the bark, there's the outer layer of the tree, and then there's the inner, like heartwood. I'm right now in the heartwood of a very large fir tree that's over 100 feet tall. And like I said, it starts off as imagination, but if you continue to work with it, you'll begin to feel sensations. And this is what we're looking for. And I'm sharing sensations with you that I'm feeling that will inspire you. And even if you don't connect with your tree deeply enough, I'm connecting with my tree and sharing the sensations with you. So no worries. And you may even notice the tone of my voice has changed a bit as I've contacted this very powerful energy field known as a tree. Now, the healing aspect I've learned that's extremely powerful and can really begin to change your life is to realize that the tree is an enormous antenna sunk deeply into the earth, and you can use this antenna to change your life. So this is what you do. The tree is just being a tree. It doesn't know about the high spiritual dimensions because humans have the divine spark inside of them and the ability to reach these heavenly realms. And it's very simple. So inside the tree, imagine reaching way up inside the tree, going through the branches and into the sky, and then going way deep into space and going beyond physical matter into higher and higher frequencies. Imagine you're reaching into the deepest reaches of the heavens, and you've reached the source. And deep into the source, life is coming forth. And we extend our attention into this life, and we connect with it. And we begin to feel it coming down into our being, into the tree, into our body, into our heart, into our pelvis area, and down into the earth. Down, down, down into the core of the earth. This energy all the way from the source of all reaches down into the core of earth. And it circulates around the core, which has its own powerful energy. And the earth is beginning to awaken with the help of people on earth, such as you and I. using this tree technique, we connect heaven and earth. And the earth energy rolls around the core and comes right back up towards us and through the tree's roots and through our legs and pelvic area, up through our body, up through our spine, out to the top of our head, and back up to the heavenly realms and all the way back to the source. I hope you can feel the upliftment that I can feel now, but I'm sharing it with you anyway. And if you're not sure, don't worry about it. The energy's there. It may just take you some time to become aware of it. And now what I like to do is I like to say heaven and then focus on the source, and then imagine the tree. I see the energy going through and back to earth. And I do this for several cycles. Then I go core of the earth, and then back to the source, and back to the core. Do that as slowly or as quickly as you like. Everybody has a different rhythm and a different frequency. But do that a few times until you feel like you're cleansed, like the energy, the healing energy from both sides, connecting makes it very powerful. And when it moves through you, it removes residues and uplifts you and brings new information and energy into your being. So we have remote viewed inside of a tree. And I'm very happy to share this incredibly powerful technique. If you revisit this video or practice this on your own, you will notice an increased strength coming into your body day by day, which is so valuable at any time, but especially now. We need powerful people on the earth to move people to heal and to make changes and to smile. Thank you for visiting me and enjoying this beautiful adventure together. And if you'd like to learn more about me and my work, visit orangesunlabs.com. We have some beautiful energy tools there that can also support you in your own healing work that you do for yourself or others. And I'm available for you if you need any assistance at orangesunlabs.com. Thanks again. Namaste.